Coming live and direct.
And welcome to the KuyaChris and Friends podcast.
I like that.
Who did you say you were?
I am the bonafide abstract.
And where are you on right now?
I'm on KuyaChris and Friends.
I'm gonna save that just for an intro, bro. Yeah, you just made it. You just immortalized yourself, man. So welcome. Please do me a favor. You got the guitar in your hand. Everything's rolling. Please bless the microphone and
I do
a little thing for us. Last minute putting in the memory card into my recorder over here, just so we have a direct, clean little recording.
Does a vibration on
your
my phone affect the music? Maybe I should
put it to side.
let's put it to the side.
We have Bonafide Abstract, Kevyn Lorenzana. You were in the very first relaunch episode, but this is now a redo of the relaunch. Now that we have better recording equipment, you ain't buzzing, cutting my hair anymore. But you just did, actually. Shout out.
Yo,
look at my
shout out.
clean cuts right now.
Yes.
This is all
Always
'cause
happy
of
to help, man.
Bonafide Abstract, also at Blessed with Clip Hands on Instagram.
What up?
But now he's gonna sing for us a little bit, so please bless the mic.
Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, free your mind, your body, and your soul. Free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yo, it goes like this. We need to liberate the mind from colonial crime and underline the prison pipeline. Stop the subconscious hate. Don't alienate, discriminate. We need to try to relate to the emotional weight. Where's that drop? Hiroshima's, and now we gotta heal this cultural amnesia. Listen to what they feed your social media. Let me invite you to the life I live. They see me as an isolated Asian whiz kid, while they marginalize my Filipino narrative. So I take out my pen, let me begin. I came to win, battle us, it's a sin. So free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yeah. Free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yeah, cause it, verse 2. Dialogue, journal writing is the process of decolonizing. We bug. Dunung, grandpa, why you drinking and playing mahjong? Affirmative action with people who look like me, questioning the hegemonic chronic community that we must emancipate, create a safe place to embrace and retrace what history has made. We will not be displaced to replace my barrio with coffee shops and parking lots. We need to know who we are to heal the scar, because as a people we made it this far. So free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yeah. Free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yeah, it's the bonafide abstract, about to attack any words of oppression. I'm a lyrical impression of a history lesson. Even if you got your hands up to still shoot the Smith & Wesson. Count your blessings and count your wrongs. That's why I say these struggles all up in these songs. They colonize the Incas, colonize the Lumas, colonize the indigenous people of the earth by African slaves who determined their worth. And now I got dead hashtags all up in my shirt. So free your mind, your body, and your soul. Yeah. Free your mind, your body, soul. Yeah, yeah.
Killed it!
Yo.
Hey!
Right on.
Hey, damn, son.
Honestly, the first
Shit.
I felt good. That felt good letting out,
Dog,
man.
singer and rapper.
Right on, right
Ethnic
on.
studies.
Bro, that's both of us, man.
Skyline College rep, man.
Skyline College, baby. That's the Alameda.
That's that community college life, son. That's where you got that heart.
Dude, thank you, bro.
Dog,
I mean,
you got another one?
another one.
What you got for us?
Another one? Okay.
Or are you gonna rap? Or on freestyle? Or another guitar?
This is a cipher togetherness. We're
Okay.
We're gonna invoke a spirit right now. Shouts out to all the babaylans out there, all the student organizers, activists. You know, moving through the spirit, human experience, man. Reading good books. You know, staying on the tip of things, just staying ready and organized to just be a comrade, man. And not only just that, but to share good love, laughter, joy, and happiness, baby. That's the pillars, the 3 pillars to kill oppression, baby. Yeah.
I thought you said 3 pillars of tequila. I was like, what?
I love tequila. Latinos of Asia, baby.
Hey, Latinos of Asia. Shout out to that new book that I've not read yet, but sounds dope.
All right, so
Okay, so you just invoke the spirits of the good vibes.
here it is. Here it is.
Okay. What you got for us?
Yo. Yo. Nah. We gotta feel it. We gotta feel it.
Something in the air. Is the vibes, the life. I'm just trying to find a way to smile. Check. He was singing all about the freedom that we want to see. So I'm just trying to drive my way to the Philippines. So I'm just flying on the plane. I bought my ticket. Now we just wanna go. Let's just never take it too slow. Cause I wanna say I got so many visions that I wanna manifest today. See, I see a better world. See, I see myself in a sea of boys and girls who just wanna play with one another. No judging, but damn, people are never rushing. They're taking their time a little too slow. But maybe we should just put on a show and get on stage and share our life. I'll be right on Thursday on the open mic. Yeah, that's right, I'ma share my thoughts. This is just us. Look at the shit that I bought. It's thrifted, this shit is cheap. Cause I ain't trying to be a capitalistic pig. But hey, I ain't gonna judge y'all. But maybe we can do this better for us all.
Decolonize your mind.
You're mine.
You're mine.
You're mine. Come on.
Yeah, yo. Decolonize your mind so you could see the people grind while the people trying to live the rural life, and everything they give is love, trying to support the family. And it's not even about the salary, it's if you got food on the plate. People over here trying to debate the wrong target, the wrong issue. But really though, people out here in America saying that they miss you. Cause we got immigrant bans, man. What's going with the wrong hands? Putting blood on the sand. I'm just gonna put my privileged man away and say I love you today. It's the bonafide abstract KuyaChris and friends in this. Oh no, take that out, take that out, take that out. Oh shoot, sorry. In this beach of life, say, in this beach
beach, we just wanna go right on top of the waves. Hey, go see, he didn't say a bad word, no. He said beach, let's just play in the sand. Come on and take my beautiful brown hand, and we can go, 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 go. Okay, that was good. Okay, that was a good warm up. I'm gonna throw you a beat.
Oh, throw the beats, man. We just having fun with it, man. You know.
I know we vibed off this one, and this had a bounce. All right, shout out to Lotso, cause we got ourselves a señorita.
Ooh.
Oh, and play. Where's up?
Play. What are we gonna do today? Ooh.
Okay.
Go hit it, bro. Go.
Hey, little señorita. Little señorita. Been looking at the way your bodies move on the floor. Better yet, maybe I can take you out, right out the front door and back into my car. We just go and ride. I can stay. My Toyota Corolla can drive for days. Hit it, my baby girl. Come on, let's show the world what love can look like. Damn, I just wanna take you to the Philippines, make you my beautiful brown queen. That's right, I like the way that we can go all night. Let's rock it, bonafide.
From the flight, from the bonafide. Ooh, gotta catch the wave, cause I'm about to campaign today. It's on social media, on Facebook. It just takes you with one look. Gotta click and donate, because we going from grassroots. You know what I'ma do, taking from the hook, from the verse hit. Oh my gosh, I'm on this lyrical tip. I know I smoke, but ain't no joke, because I'm about to get that love to provoke. Provoke, that's the wrong word, but it's cool. We just rapping, chilling with the crew. Out here passing it back to Chris. Let's go.
Let's go. With them Filipinos, we from Asia, but we like them Latinos. Everybody knows we brown and chinky, but I just wanna make you play with my toy Slinky. I'ma be like Bruno Mars, everything in the air, pinky. I'm just saving my money, call me insurance thrifty. Now I'm rolling on the end of the beat. I'm just trying to find a way to speak. Let me go to the youth and reach right deep inside their minds. Tell them what's going on. Maybe we can put away our pride. Dog, let's build us all up. Let's just run and coast, señorita. I never boast. I think you're a fleeker, huh? Maybe I can take you out, but my dates are cheaper. I do not got that much cash, but you got too much ass. Maybe I can just pass.
Oh, damn, boy.
Okay. So that was Señorita. Let's call
Shouts out to JT.
Let's do a shout out to a Filipino American producer down from LA, Nick Pachole. I think you have to start this one off.
Yo.
Momentum.
I'm reading books from left to right. Call me ambidextro on this missile flight on the interwhite. What am I saying? Just letting the music blow me away. One love. Check this out, about to bring it back on the bonafide abstract. I'm about to attack. I'm sorry if I use words and verses from my last verse, but I'm about to give you another. Check it, about to hit the rhyme. I'ma say it like one more time. I don't go out chasing dimes, but I'm writing my raps, saying the real, because I'm just trying to express how I feel. Check it, I'm a young brown gifted, and if I stay elevated I might shift it. You could be right to left minded, but really you gotta find identity and find it. cause you gotta rewind it, take it back, and I'm just cruising on this beautiful track. One love.
One love, one love, one love. Just one love. One love.
One love. Yeah.
Where's the love in this world? How come we're fighting all the goddamn time? Everybody shooting, trying to find them rhymes just to make sense of it all. What the fuck? Everybody idolizing those who ball. Everybody thinking it's all about them shots, them rings, all the blings. Everybody wanna try and get another ring. LeBron, this is the king. While everybody else suffering on the third world tip. Hey, I ain't that motherfucker that's rich, but I will one day get the cash, get the flow, just so I can bring it back to all my people who be struggling. I ain't mumbling, cause my rap is on track. I'm just hustling to get all my lyrical verses right on the top. I'll be another motherfucker that will never stop on this. Written, I'm spitting, everybody a kitten, a pussy, I'm getting loose. My, don't you lose me, don't ever abuse me, dog. Yeah, that's my respect, I'm all about the pass it off.
Pass it off in solidarity. I'm trying to read books so my mind could bring out clarity. Yeah, out here, young brown man with flat nose with a Pancho Villa beard. Check it. I don't give a damn, but I know the white man colonized the brown sand. Cause we out here, militant, radical people, human rights activists. We trying to make it equal. Man, fuck the movies, try to make me another sequel. Motherfucker, I'm a real MC, popping pioneers like I'm within me. It's in my veins, in my DNA. Kendrick Lamar in my brain. So we out here going insane, passing it back to my homie who's rapping the game, doing more things, doing things to bring upwards mobility. We trying to stay not filthy, but if we do stay filthy with the people in the indigenous youth, cause we living out the truth. So I pass it, I keep it going. Go, Chris, let's go.
You need some melody up in this beach. Let me speak. I just wanna go and reach my goals.
My goal.
This is Nick Pacholi. Let me say I'm trying to get that rollie on the wrist. Nah, I'm just trying to be another bitch, cause I was always hating, navigating. Let me give some truth. This is me just stating. Sometimes I cuss, I don't really mean it that much. I do not want to offend, but maybe this is how the road bends. Let me try to end my verse and a little bit of that holy church. Maybe I can find another reason, another perp, another treason for us to get onto the top of the church. It's kinda messy, but I just wanna be like the football king Messi. This is part of my dream, but I do not want to lose my way tonight. I just wanna tell you I do not want to go and fight. But if you roll that way, maybe I will say I'ma hit you with a choke, cause I can fuck it up all day. I'ma say my mumble. Damn, everybody looking like a monkey in the jungle, swimming from a tree to a branch. Everybody on the limb of another man's land. I just losing my way, I just pass it off.
Yeah, pass it up, slow it down, make it all roll around like we cooking verses like a baking powder soda. Nah, we ain't doing nothing. Witness me, Jehovah. Oh, just kidding, but I'm out here getting, trying to campaign so I could put institutionalized oppression away. Oh my gosh, we living for another day. We know how to hustle, keep grinding in the struggle. The beauty is a struggle for the people, make it cool. I'm out here chilling, you could see me as another brown youth. Put my hands back, put my beanie flat back, put my brown pants up, sag, but sorry, I messed up there, but it's okay.
Fine, last one. Let's do one last.
All right, one last.
Ooh, I stumbled a little bit there.
It's okay.
But it's all good. It's part of the flow. It's practice.
It's practice.
It's practice.
Baby.
We got now. Shout out to Nick Pacholi.
Pacoli. I think it's Pacoli. Pacoli. He works with this guy named Jamie Boy Music, who's also another Filipino. And this Nick Pacoli is under Roseville Music Group.
It's all connections, man.
Who's run by Illmind, a Filipino.
Dude. One
Legacy,
love.
shout out.
Legacy, baby. Filipinos in hip hop, man. That's for real.
Ace on the beat.
This is Ace Beats called The World Is Yours. I want you to start it. My guest, dog. This is all you. This is just 2 minutes. All you. Come on.
All me? Alright.
All you.
Yeah. Hip hop, here it is.
Once that beat gets on in.
Ace on the beat.
It's the bona fide abstract. Keep it complex with an SF's Giants cap. Walking in the streets, hidden, saying what's up to my peeps in the Muni streets. We out here rapping to the real beats. I'm out here trying to give it all I got. Man, we only got one shot, and that's to live, and that's to organize and give. Yeah, I got my family on my back, KuyaChris, and I'm giving him a nice haircut. Giving him a nice haircut. And also everybody in the community. We out here trying to be ourselves. Not looking into materialistic wealth, but we looking for that cultural wealth. That thing that keeps us connected. Stay intersected, integrate with different communities. Please don't try to discriminate me, because ethnic studies needs more love. It needs more representation, cause I'm out here on my destination to be with the people in the bottom, so they could all live at the top. Living at the bottom, still up at the top. Yeah. Living in the bottom, still up in the top.
Still up in the top, still up in the top.
Yo, my grandma, she came from the province, and I'm glad that I seen her since. But this is what I gotta say. My family deserves a better way. Living back in the Philippines, they over here trying to see the American dreams, but the dream is not an illusion. People think it only transfers. Oh, nah, I think the spirit went down, but it's cool. We gon' keep it up, 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 keep it up. We out here freestyling, never
Never wildin', never lying. See, I put my truth into raps. That's how I attack, but I never fight. I always defend what is wrong, know what is right. Let me try to write every night. I put my thoughts onto paper. The pen is my lightsaber as I try to be a lifesaver for the others in life who need a little help. Damn, I need a wife, but not just yet, cause I don't believe in marriage. Playing, woo!
Ooh, man, this was
good session,
fun, man. Right on.
Thank you for blessing the mic. Thank you for coming on.
Right on, man. This was fun, dude.
This is just the beginning. I feel like I ran. I feel like I did like a lap around the track with that.
Man,
that
right on. For giving people the opportunity to do this, man. Share their stories. I can't wait to see what else you're gonna do next in store, man. Just keep it up, bro. Keep it up.
We ain't even done yet, dog.
Oh, we ain't even done yet? Oh,
we
damn.
haven't even started.
I thought that was a closure or something.
No,
Okay.
First off, man. Oh my God. You haven't even shared your story, dog.
Oh,
That's
right
the whole
on.
reason
Damn.
why we're here. So could you tell me? Well, we do a speed round. All right. All these are speed questions and speed answers. All right. What's your name?
My name is Kevyn Lorenzana.
How old are you?
I am 22.
Whoa. Where were you born?
I was born in San Francisco, Califa. You know what I mean?
Khalifa. Okay. And then where did you go to school? Elementary to
For elementary, I went to Jose Ortega Lakeview in the Lakeview. Beautiful streets, beautiful view. Middle school, I went to Westboro Middle School, moved out there in South City. Shouts out to South City. And then
Industrial City.
Industrial City. And then I went to South San Francisco, and then Skyline College and City College.
And then next semester, where are you headed to?
I'm going to UCLA.
What is your major?
My major is Asian American Studies.
What is your ethnic identifier?
My ethnic identifier is Filipino American.
And so both your parents are Filipino.
Both my parents are Filipino. My dad's from Central Luzon. My mama is from Visayas region, Aklan, to be specific.
Dope. And so I know that you are a barber.
Yes.
What are your creative outlets? What do you like? I know you just rap for us. What else do you like to do?
I also like to draw. I like to write whatever that's on my mind with creative writing, like poetry, spoken word. I like to play guitar and just sing whatever that's on my mind. And I also like to honestly just have good conversations and ideas about life and everything that we're learning today.
Cool. Thanks for the little speed roundy.
Thank you.
Could you do me a favor and tell me a little bit about that first piece that you performed? What's the story behind that? Give me some context of the verses. Jump off that.
Okay, so coming back to Skyline after taking 1 year break from school, wanting to go to the military, I decided, from the help of a few people, my girlfriend Gabrielle and Lim, and
Shout out.
shout out, and just to all the homies that were telling me to honestly stay. But what really spoke to me was when my girlfriend told me, like, you didn't even try school yet. You dropped out first semester, but you took a break and just worked at Bonchon maybe, and you wanted to go to the military. You didn't want to do infantry. You wanted to be a medic, right? So maybe take some classes at Skyline. And after hanging out with her to go to friendship games, I really wanted to be involved in the Filipino community at Skyline, which I never knew we had. But shouts out to Liza Erpello and all the other folks under KOC. They inspired me to not be a physical therapist. Not to hate on the people in the medical career and medical field, because one love to y'all, saving lives. But I was brought up to be a nurse, brought up to either be a nurse or be in the military, but now I want to pursue ethnic studies, focusing on Filipino studies, and those verses that go with my life. I just read books from the KOC community and being involved in organizations like LAIA, and just stopping by time to time at the FCC and just colliding all my past and the new things I've learned into something that I'm passionate for. And I made this song for Rod's sociology class for Filipino issues and community, social issues and community. It's a sociology class, and one of our projects was to a decolonization projects through creative outlets. So what you were saying, and it was through the gift of music that I brought this out. And what really speaks to me is free your mind, your body, and your soul. I left out one verse out of there, so it was keep your roots gold, but free your mind, your body, and your soul. I think that with that saying, for me, I live by just living this life knowing that you help somebody free themselves in any type of identity issue, especially with the Filipino community with colonial mentality and all these other things before knowing about your culture. I think that that's an important thing to believe in, is to just free your mind, your body, and your soul. Stop feeling inferior, stop feeling like there's a hierarchical type of boundary amongst people, because you got to believe that you are educated, you are loved, and you have to love yourself.
Wisdom. But question that was coming up when you were speaking about you gotta believe that you are not inferior or anything. Like, how come you say that? Did you ever feel inferior? Or
I used to feel inferior amongst myself. I was always on the real tip. I'm glad that I could express this openly now, because it is a learning lesson for other people. I used to feel inferior about my academia in terms of, I was like always, I felt myself that I brought up this identity as some type of at-risk youth or something. Like, administration in high school didn't really believe in me because I was just influenced by, you know, I wouldn't say the wrong crowd, but I was influenced with just the streets. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't even get to take my SATs because they just gave up on me, or I just didn't even try. And I was known to be called like the dumb one, the stupid one. When internally that affected me, but I shouldn't keep it butthurt. But it has an effect on the inferiority process, you know. And also with my skin being brown, I felt inferior before. I felt like I'm lower class, you know what I mean? And before knowing about like everything about being Filipino and the classes, like that was colonial mentality subconsciously. And I'm still going through that, but I'm still learning about how believing in yourself and having confidence exudes what you want to be and your purpose in life. You know what I mean?
Why do you think you felt inferior being brown? Do you remember any moments or any like experiences why that became like the case? Like, it's kind of trippy, like hearing that, but also like thinking that, South City, there's a lot of brown people.
Exactly.
But how come you still held that idea?
Well, for me, being inferior for once was not fitting in with my people, I guess, because in terms of like I in high school, I tried to hang out with like the Filipinos, like the FOBs, you know what I mean? And I was too American, you know, and like I wanted to speak Tagalog and whatnot and try to assimilate to, you know, like the real Filipinos. They just made me feel kind of like I'm not a part of them. And, you know, and another one was actually in the basketball court and whatnot. I tried to, you know, play with them when I didn't have that much friends and, you know, in high school and whatnot. But other than that, I remember being discriminated I felt like I'm being discriminated for what I was wearing and for my skin, and walking into like 7-Eleven, like always being accused I'm gonna steal something. Like, bro, I got money, even though maybe I did steal something, but still. But you know what I mean? And then
that's interesting. It's like you're not accepted in either side, right? Like with the straight up like Filipinos that immigrated here, right? You're too American, and then in other spaces you're too brown, right? You're like targeted because of stereotypes associated with people of color or with other brown folks, right? And it's like, where is our home, right? Where do I fit in, right? And at least it's, from my understanding, it was way bad in the early 90s, the Phil-born Filipinos and the American-born Filipinos, especially out in San Francisco and Jefferson area. Like, I was told that there was a lot of gang activity, and it sucks. There's brown-on-brown violence.
Yes.
Right?
That's true, and that's a real thing. I was growing up seeing Pinoy, like real Pinoy bloods, Norteños, even Crips and like Sureños in my area, Outer Mission area. And one time that has something to do with my identity was when after Christmas, this was like in 8th grade, I was wearing my new Christmas clothes, and this, after coming out watching a movie with my brother, I get mugged like just a few blocks away from home, saying, give up your nice jacket, the fur coats, when everyone was wearing the Jabol jeans, the sidekick. I was flexing all that, man.
How old were you?
I was in 8th grade, bro. 8th grade, baggy pants, Fila's. Shouts out to anybody who knows what's up. But he was Filipino, man. I saw his tattoo of 3 stars, 1 sun, and just pointing a gun at my knee, saying, "Give me what you got, man." And I tried to tell the police, but they said they're gonna help fix it, or they're gonna help, find this guy, but that never happened. Which, I mean, I was still young, presenting a police case at the Balboa Police Department. Like, I was so young, but I think about it now, it's street violence, and there's a other stem that connects to that in a higher level. You know what I mean?
There's like other causes that propagate the street violence, and why folks end up resorting to that. And that's what you're studying? That's what you want to look into more?
I want to look into that. I do. I want to learn about the prison industrial complex system and the prison school to prison pipeline, which is still evident today, I believe. Not just in the San Francisco bubble, but global, man. That's why I am trying to see the struggles with different political governments, especially in the Philippines, and see what am I going to relate with that research here in America.
Because I know that we took a class together.
Yes, we did.
Popal, shouts
out to Mustafa.
Please
Respected.
listen to my podcast, Mustafa.
Mustafa, yup.
It was dope. History of civil rights. And I know that the culminating project that we had to do was do a research on a social issue, and you chose incarcerated youth.
Yes, mass incarceration. More education, not mass incarceration.
And it's interesting to like hear your story of just being exposed to these Filipino studies in Skyline
College.
That was your first spot that you were exposed to all this?
Yes. Thankfully, I was systematically distributed to Liza Erpello as my teacher, but not under the KLC program. It was her pop culture class, just being more critical on what music I listened to, where it came from, the different subcultures, and the media we take in. And that led me into being in PCN in 2015 with Janice Sapigao, and then I finished all my English requirements with Grace Burns.
You did the 100 110 with her?
Yes. 100 110 with Grace Burns. Beautiful books. Very, very strong political influence and identity influence from her. For real. PCN class with Grace, 2 PCNs with her, and 2 beautiful classes with Rod, Manong Rod, taking his history of the Philippines and sociology, and getting to know great counselors. I got the privilege to see Kent Gomez, and the privilege to talk to Bo Eleanor and Nate Novato.
Bruh.
It's cool, man. Like,
this is deep. I just want to pause you real quick because I want to put into context all these names that you shouted out. These are all Filipina Americans working at the school as teachers, as counselors, running these classes.
Their selfless work is underrepresented, man. Like, everybody needs to know them. Go to Skyline, take these beautiful teachers, man, because it's honestly not for the money. It's about, it's for the development of people, man, and the growth. And they love seeing that in, their students, and love seeing students graduate, man. It's like, take these teachers.
And it's so important to see these teachers as a Filipino American youth, being able to see Filipino American teachers killing the game and teaching us relevant lessons and topics and history that we can actually relate to. Like, bruh, we look like the Manongs.
That's right.
We look like the farm workers that were here in the early 1920s. Like, that's us. We are part of American history.
One big family, you know what I mean?
And learning that is very empowering. And I fucking love community. I love Skyline
community
College.
college.
You know,
Yes.
I wish I could finish my degree there.
If it was that affordable, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. If I could have UC Skyline College, that would be legit, man.
One day.
One day. I don't see it. It's not that bad of an idea. And I can have all these teachers, bruh, all these Filipino American classes too, like having more people in it.
That's right.
It's been pretty awesome.
It
And
enlightens young minds, fresh minds, and even minds with an older frame. Like always a student, man. And that campus, you can just grow, bro. You can just grow.
so call 1-800 Skyline College.
Call now.
Call now. Or Cypher and Kababayan, please sponsor us. Well, technically, I could say that this is sponsored by KLC and Cypher because I got their scholarships, and that's helped me buy equipment and do all that. I got the Rock the School Bells scholarship and the Kababayan Learning Community scholarships, and it's very powerful to have support, even financially, from these communities of people who look like us and have similar experiences and point of view as us.
Yes. The Cypher learning community kills it, man. Like,
it looks dope.
wow. Through hip hop is education, man. And that kept, honestly, like, just having people with the same hip hop tip, because there are a lot of hip hop critical minded people here in the Bay Area, man, and having a safe space like Rock the School Bells and just awarding people about the education amongst hip hop lines, man. That's dope. That's beautiful, man.
Dude, I saw that they just went to New York.
Dude, yep.
And they had
Shouts
a
out to
trip.
Kim Davalos, man.
Janice was there. Nate Novato.
Nate Novato.
Can I join?
That's the one thing I regret, man, was not joining Cypher because I was, just like doing my thing in my lane,
And I took all the classes already. That was the only thing.
But I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back.
Can I audit the class real quick?
Yes.
And their lessons look dope. I know Janice was teaching Asada Shakur's book.
Oh, wow.
And a whole in the even history of Malcolm X, and in the English classes, like for transfer credit. That's something that they really institutionally fought for, and it's very important to have these folks. And I know that you're on that path. I know you said you want to be
I want to be a teacher.
Do you know a
Teacher.
specific grade?
Specific grade, I would, like, whatever, God, or I don't know, Allah, I don't want to offend the viewers out here, but God blesses me with either 8th graders and whatnot, that's cool. But I really want to be a college professor, and also be a college professor in community colleges, and also in prison systems and juvenile systems. So a teacher would be dope.
How did your interest in being active with incarcerated youth, how come this is you said you want to be a teacher in prison?
Personally, I seen things firsthand in actually my life with when I was in not even 8th grade, when I was in high school, especially within my household. My older brother would share his story, and I would see his story from when it was bad with the cops, and seeing how he is now. Beautiful transformation. My brother is highly he's a good man. Like, honestly, he's a family man now, working 2 jobs, holding it down for his family. He's 1 year older than me, but he got taken away so many times, and it was unfair with the dialogue my mother would feel seeing her son in prison and only having not having complications on trying to see her son through the phone, and you have to pay to even talk to your son, and these bail systems are really unfair for a small crime.
tagging, and small crime for getting into some crazy stuff with friends. It's it I would say it's unfair, but that really affected me because he got taken away during times where families are supposed to be together. Like he got taken away during Christmas. He got taken away before his baby shower. And like I could feel how my mom's pain was feeling because it was just like, dang, like there has to be more. I have to fight for this type of thing, man. And taking Mustafa's civil rights class really influenced me that there can be research in it and I can make a difference, And I talked to a lot of youngins in my barbershop, in my garage, and a lot of them are, I'm not going to say at-risk youth, but promise youth. You know what I'm saying? They have potential. They have a potential to be a leader. They have a potential to do good things. And that's what you just need to see in people who are from underfunded or underprivileged communities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There has to be more structure around them in order to maximize their potential.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like to really encourage them.
Yes.
And instead of like always labeling them as at-risk youth or troubled youth, and like it's almost like ingraining into their minds, like, fuck it, I'm at risk, whatever. And
names are powerful.
It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like telling you that you're dumb or you're stupid, or like comparing you to other people who are succeeding makes, at least for me, it made me like, fuck that, fuck school, right? When that comparison is always there, instead of really taking it case by case and seeing the individuality and uniqueness and potential of each person, and then finding ways to cultivate their growth.
That's right.
Right? Instead of just fucking labeling and tossing them to the side at the profit of other people. Hella private prisons, right? That they profit.
Prisons, yeah.
Dude, and I just learned about the call centers in prisons, and they can pay these people cents on the dollar just to work, just because they're in prison, right? That's the 13th Amendment, whereas like like slavery is not allowed except in the cases of incarcerated people. So it's like these legal loopholes in order to use human capital for the benefit of other humans, like the 1%, other people who control these things.
Yes.
And it's almost super daunting just imagining or trying to comprehend the systems at play, or all the people involved that try to keep the status quo. But then I guess it's also beautiful to see all the people involved trying to dismantle it. Right? The books, Jim Crow, Michelle Alexander, all the documentaries.
That's right.
I only know half of these because of the documentaries.
Yes.
Some that we watched in class.
Yes.
Right? Shout out to the cool teachers that play the actual documentaries and these counter narratives in class.
And that's the beauty of ethnic studies, man. That's the beauty of having the dialogue and the conversations of race and not being colorblind, and how we can be more of an alliance and for each other, and that's the beauty of ethnic studies, man. Honestly, creating that beautiful dialogue through social media, creating that dialogue and reforming through an action or revolution with movements, and like I love learning math. I love learning science. Those play a big part too, but keeping up the conversation of history and ethnic studies has a big part on having, a society that's empathetic and just, and, a better understanding on how to live, with
balance and equality. You know what I mean?
You know, I remember when we were driving one time and you were telling me, it stuck in my head when you said, yo, to me, ethnic studies is life or death. I remember you telling me that. I was like, dog, you take this shit seriously. Excuse me. You take this too hard. You take this past this just like academia or studying. And I think it's awesome that you get to connect with folks when you are a barber and you hear their stories, because those are the people running around.
Yeah,
those are
bro.
people living life and being affected.
That's right.
By whatever system structure that's around us.
There's always oppression. Not even, I mean, there's oppression in terms of like being white. I talked to a white person and I cut his hair, and you know, it's he's going through something too, you know. And I talked to Latino people, Asian people, Black people, and it's just to have them trust me with their stories, and just getting a lens on how to build empathy is selfless love. And that's what ethnic studies is about, is to learning and to teach people how to love through academically too, and an academical lens, and also a lens to just build solidarity, man, to build love and just to connect. But what I'm trying to say is that I just feel like the whole thing, like I forgot what I was saying, but honestly, this is a great conversation. I'm
deep. It's like it's kind of like this is deep into ethnic studies, or even I like the combination that you're going in the sense that ethnic studies is important, but also understanding that even white people, they do have their struggles, right? And it's not to say that ethnic studies is alienating them. I think that's the bad side of looking at ethnic studies, or like that's not a good critique of it, because at least the good side of ethnic studies is not trying to like push down on white people. It's just trying to shed light on the inequities that are abound around us, right? Or that have been historically in place.
In place.
And I think it's the bad approach is to diss on the white folks, because like that's not really gonna like get you anywhere, in my opinion. Like the push down, like trying to take away respect, or always blanket kind of describing, oh, white people are this, white people are that. That's also somewhat going down a path that is not healthy in the bigger picture sense, right? We're trying to point out the inequities, the problems that are there, in order for us to address it without causing more division.
Yes, right. And it's demographically speaking, I feel like white people in San Francisco are honestly like, they acknowledge, you know, they're white alliances, you know, they acknowledge the history that has been in place, you know. And I don't know I don't know how it is in the South, you know. I don't know how it is, you know, in those swing states, you know what I mean? But
that's the only thing. We're in a bubble. Dog,
I just care about the food that's on the plate, man.
Bro, you cut my hair. You cut my hair the day we found out Trump won.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's right.
I think that was the last recording. We were like, wait a minute. This is not... Wait. Remember that November, bro? That's the recording. That's online, actually.
Yeah.
It's like us finding out, like, what? What's going on?
Is this a joke, right?
Yo, it kind of made me realize we're in a bubble.
We're in a bubble, baby.
California is a bubble. It's a bubble that I'm happy to be in, but also a bubble that we have to be aware of in order to understand the bigger picture and understand people who are outside of it. If we really want to make progress, if we really want to touch the hearts of people who kind of look at us in a negative way, there has to be a way to break down their shields in order to build a real human connection, to see the larger picture that we're all fucking human beings at the end of the day. And these divisions that are built up is not benefiting people. It's not like, even if we are, so I've seen, the sad part is, I'm not going to say names, but the sad part is I've seen deep ethnic studies people or politically correct people in a way build up more divisions through their own antagonistic approach to people who do not share their opinions. They're very antagonistic or hateful about, oh, white people this, or the Republicans, conservatives, like all these labeling of people and grouping just so they can be the one who's right or the morally superior one.
So much.
It's not useful. It's not beneficial.
It's wow, I feel like it should be a live stream because I want to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah, I feel you.
That was good though. I mean, everyone has their opinion and everyone has their facts they come up with. But I believe also too, it's just the money that plays into the system, man. Like who has the money, and like all just learning about, lobbyists and super PACs and what they can do to the voting rights and votes and whatnot. And man, it's just
what struck me before when I was kind of getting into politics, left, right, and all that stuff, was it being pointed out that there is a bipartisan foreign policy which keeps the same power structure, specifically of military, in place, whether it's Democrat or Republican. And then seeing, hey, that's true. The arm of America in terms of all its bases, all its military power all over the world does not really change from Democrat to Republican. It's still the same. So all these internal fights of like, fuck you Democrat, fuck you Republican. There's a lot of people who still stay in power no matter what side wins. Like you were just talking about, these super PACs or these lobbyists. Some of them fund both sides of the house.
Yeah.
Some of them fund both Democrats and Republicans just to push their agenda, because at the end of the day, money talks.
And I don't know. I believe that when we go through the primaries, they pick somebody that's either too right or too left. I mean, and I guess we kind of shun out the people who are in the middle. You know what I mean? Because Donald Trump was too far. Too far on his side. Too far right.
He's not even right. He's on Donald Trump's side.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But that's why we have people in power and reaching up that ladder on making, our votes, the way we vote, the way we take our politics, and to try to reform that shit, make something good to please everybody. But it's gonna take some time, but it's cool. It takes some time. We just have to learn and to really just dig deep in the crates of this crap that we have
of history in order to understand.
It's not crap, sorry y'all.
I think no, I'm not trying to correct you, but I'm just adding on. Maybe it's like reaching into the history in order to understand what happened, but so that we can reach into our own creativity to spark up new ideas of change, new ways of living and communicating with one another, new ways that are not embroiled and ingrained in these old patterns of the dinosaurs, these reptilians who have been running the government and conditioning us to be separated all the damn time with media. That's what you said in your rap verse, right? Be aware of social media
and what they feed you.
Yeah. Because this shit is real though. This Instagram swiping, this like Facebook watching videos, la 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 la. This is programming. This is a new TV.
We are being conditioned, y'all.
I realized, I was saying one time, I was like, oh, I don't watch TV that much anymore. But I've been on my phone. We're on our phones now on hours on end, just like watching and watching.
Yeah. And to those who are not like on the info on how to
get good news and are just
okay. Tell us.
on the lens on just seeing articles on Facebook, not looking at the author, not crediting, the website. Like, it's hard to find quality, honest news, man, because you're either being too liberal or you're being too conservative. That's why it's just, honestly, that's why education is the key, because education teaches you what to read and, teaches you who to trust. I'm not going to shout a few names. I know y'all have your ideas, but
here's a good example. We need more information literacy because, bruh, after the Warriors won, everybody was posting that article of, they unanimously said no to visit the White House. And everybody was like, yay, Warriors, look, they said they're not going to the White House. Post, shared. The day after, it's like, oops, it's not true news. It was like a fake article. Like, they never said that, right? And then people are like, oops, sorry. But that's a superficial thing, right? It's a sports team saying no, but people a lot, what I've noticed, just shared by the headline. Share, because maybe they're conditioned to get the positive response from a like, from something that they feel are going to get the responses of other people for positive validation. And it's just a headline. People just read headlines now and not sift through the story. And it's just share. Look what I found.
I'm a victim of that. Like,
I'm a victim too.
Yeah, I tend to just, like share the post without even reading it and just think, I'm going to read it later. Because it's cool, but honestly, thank you for that, because it reminds me to stay critical and also share my thoughts. Don't be afraid to share what you feel, and to honestly read, so you could get the best outcome, out of the article. You know what I mean? So, to read,
having dialogues,
with
people about things, and like not getting caught up in specific sides or not getting so self-identified with a group that you're just spouting out talking points that have been brainwashed into you. Like, brainwash is too strong a word, but have been like fed through repetition.
Whatever you feed the mind will come out the mouth. So you have to gotta feed the mind, with peace. You gotta have peace. That's what you gotta read, man. You gotta read. But
you gotta read.
Thank you for letting me know how to keep up with my summer reading. Cause
I know
I have to
do summer reading. Because when life hits you, you don't fucking read.
You gotta pay the bills. God, you gotta go to DMV. You gotta take care of the kids.
You gotta do your fucking classwork. Dog, I read more books out of college than I did in college because there were all these readings and additional homework, stuff like that. But I read more actual from front to back books before college. But it's okay. Whatever. I mean, I still read some good books in college. But a lot of times it's like sections that you read, or this article, that article, this study, and that like thing written by whatever person. But books are very important. I've grown a lot through some books and through reading, working through some, like this one Jose Rizal book that I think I picked up. It was called The Great Malayan, and then it just was about Jose Rizal. And then that's the book that kind of sparked me to be like, I should volunteer at a community center. Let me look for a Filipino community center. And it was all just a snowball effect from there.
Because you believe.
Yeah, there's something about
books.
books.
These books and these authors, man. That's why we gotta read. We gotta write more books, bro.
Yeah, and you gotta read those relevant to you. Because I wasn't inspired by To Kill a Mockingbird. I was like, okay, but I was inspired by Jose Rizal, knowing his story. This fool was a short motherfucker who traveled the world back when you couldn't travel the world that much as a brown dude. In the late 1800s, man, we're thinking about, there's oppression now and all that stuff. Imagine back in the day, and this guy was trying to pull white girls, like his girlfriends in Germany. And, like, he was living it up, like, and writing about it. he was telling the story of Filipinos through fiction, through books, and trying to point out the injustices that were going on and that are still going on right now. And that inspired a whole bunch of revolutionaries. It inspired
That's beautiful.
the Philippine Revolution.
It inspires you today. It's 2017 right now.
Yeah.
When did he when did Rizal pass away? It was like 18 something.
18 something.
Yeah.
I forget because revolution was 1898, right? So somewhere around that time. I forget the dates.
His life
but-
still invokes people today. And
Yeah.
I think that chain reaction should just live on forever, man.
Yeah, that's why we need more of those stories. Forever, bro. Yo, man, I'm connected with him, bro. Like, for real, I call on his energy, and I feel the no limitang here, touch me not, bro, because I feel the Andres
Namaste.
Bonifacio also, bro. Let me spark some sage, man. Why are you laughing? It's not a joke, bro.
It's not honestly,
That's the roots, bro.
that's what the movies depict us as. Ethnic studies majors are potheads, man. Like, I'm talking about the revolution, man. Smoke some weed. But fuck, what the fuck?
I know a lot of, but I know a lot of ethnic studies potheads, though.
I know. Yeah.
But I also know a lot of fucking international relations potheads. I know a lot of chem major potheads. I know a lot of lawyer potheads. Some lawyers that I know that don't even want to say, though, that they smoke. Because they're scared of the repercussions. But they do. Shit. But I don't even smoke now, but I'm one of the highest supporters of legalization of marijuana, but I don't smoke anymore because I got too high in 2013.
You reached that point where I should stop now.
Yeah. I think a few years off, 2012, 2013, that was enough for me. I think I made up for it, so I'll go by a few more years.
You did like 5 years of smoking.
Yeah. I put
10,
as many
20.
years. Yeah, I think at least 10 into that shit. Morning till night. I think I should not do it anymore.
Nah, but for real though, man. We're too afraid to talk about marijuana and the goodness coming out of it because it's just been so stigmatized for so long, man. Stigmatized for so long.
And because, it's so hard to change people's minds, especially when they're like so set in it and have been told over and over and over again that it's bad and that they maybe had bad experiences with their friends. That's a big important one. Like maybe they had family that went into harder drugs and just did it worse, and so they're just like, fuck that. So it is understandable because I have family members that really look at it negatively because they've had other family members who just went down a bad path.
That trauma with family, that PTSD that had to do with marijuana probably made them like, no, stop. You know what I mean?
But so it's understandable. It's just frustrating, right? Especially when it comes into legislation that controls our actions, our own free will, and our own self-determination to do what we want with our bodies. And that's being restricted because of other people's decisions. That's where I kind of like, I don't want you to control me, right? That's where I'm on the right side of the argument in terms of government control. And it just makes me think like, it's interesting that I share a point of view with both right and left, quote unquote, right, left, conservative, progressive, Republican, Democrat sides. That's why it's so unwise, or it's so like limiting to define yourself to one side, because we're humans and the other side sometimes has good points, right? That we can vibe with. But if we like just identify so much with one side, you ain't gonna have that conversation.
That's right.
And we need more conversations across political lines, across racial lines, right? Across economic lines, instead of like having our teams, right? But my team is Skyline College, baby!
Skyline College, man. That's where it's at.
My team is... I'm starting a new religion. I've been telling people.
What religion you doing?
Christianity.
Christianity. I think that's taken already, bro.
Filipinianity. Maybe that. Ethnicnyanity.
Ethnicnyanity. No. Religion. Religion is a big one.
Are you religious?
Divides people. I used to be very religious. I say I'm still religious. I believe I'm being protected every day by a good spirit. Avoiding me getting ran over or something like that. But I do pray in my mind. I just pray. I just pray for safety. I pray for other people. I pray for when things are tough. And I don't know what to do. I pray for some spiritual connection to lead me into something that's unselfish. You know what I mean? But the topics in this world with religion just has a way to divide people. Like I love, like, why can't it be like, I love you, Islam, I love you, Christianity, I love you, Buddha, I love you, but it's more so like, I hate you. The rhetoric is like, I don't like it because you're killing people, you're killing others. And life is a very big topic to the human race, man. And honestly, people are dying because of religion. But I believe that you shouldn't, in terms of what's going on with religion, like Islam, you can't stereotype a whole group, You can't stereotype a whole group of people, especially on the religion, man. It's a tough rhetoric.
Yeah, it's very divisive. Yeah. And like the extreme sides of both is that it causes extremism and hate on both sides, right? I was telling you about, I don't know the specifics, but a Muslim woman in, I think, Virginia but someone that looked young, around our age, she was just killed by two guys with a bat. And that's just crazy, like, to think because of your appearance, wearing a hijab, any covering, you're just categorized, and hate is just attributed onto you. And that's not a world worth like existing in. Or it's not worth, but it's something that should be changed. Like the self-determination of people to be able to decide what they want to do themselves without the fear of negative repercussions. As long as it's not hurting them, hurting others also, it should be chill. But I personally don't really know the best way to like alleviate the issues. I just know acceptance at the end of the day, but there's just so much negative going on, right? The extremism, right? All the things going on in London, like,
it's not fair.
It's almost like every week we hear something new, like going down, and it's debilitating.
It's like they're not talking about that individual person; they're talking about the whole people, the whole person, the whole group that's affiliated with that. I guess person. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it, bro, but
it like attributes negative qualities of a singular person or group, or to the larger group, to everyone. Right? For example, if you're just an asshole, I'll think all Filipinos are assholes.
Exactly.
Right? It's just attribute, or all people who wear fancy shirts and a pin like that. It's just that attribution, because it makes it easier for us in our heads to hold that idea and then categorize everybody.
Exactly.
Because it's harder. It takes more brain power to hold competing ideas and to understand that everybody is multifaceted. It's just easier to be like, oh, he's brown, he's a thug. Or, oh, he's white, he's racist. Oh, he's rich, he's a capitalist pig. Right? That, like, he's left, he's a communist and they want to take away everything. Just these quick analyses of everybody just makes us is divisive. It's not rooted in empathy, right? What you're saying, and I don't know. It's
true.
It's so fucking draining. Even just talking about it right now, it's just so
It's
draining to the soul,
institutionalized, man.
Yeah,
so
it's
much.
Yeah, it's like a way of thinking that is ingrained in our culture,
Yeah.
and in the way that we are raised, and in the systems around us, like through school, even work, right? It's so separating.
That's right.
But
we grew up in an era where the trauma with 9/11 just rooted in our society, the post 9/11 babies, and where their demographics are from. Like, it's just targeting the wrong people, man. And a lot of these families that are Muslim, that wear hijabs, man, like that are refugees, not all of them are here to kill people. They're actually here to to live and have their kids go to school, and so they could work and live a better life, and I think in this day and age, I'm glad that we're working on progressive not radical movements, but movements to understand, and movements to
change it.
Like straight up, like they work like peace and solidarity to anybody who's Muslim, man, or Middle Eastern, man. Like, thank y'all for what y'all do and to make our world more cultural, more beautiful,
So, I really think that experiences and going to other places will be very beneficial in just like our understanding of even the world. And I want to transition and ask you a few things, because we are about to go to the Philippines in a few weeks for a community trip, right?
Yes.
And this will be your first time to go to the Philippines?
First time in the Philippines,
going
y'all.
back home.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Can you give me some of your thoughts of...
My thoughts going back home is honestly trying to relate to my grandma and how she lived before. She's a long time ago, before I got into all this Filipino-ness. She told me, you won't be Filipino, you don't know how to live like a Filipino, you don't clean, you're not ready to farm, and all that. I'm not saying all Filipinos should farm and whatnot to understand that they're Filipino, but I want to have that identity connection with my lineage, and my grandma is a big part of cultural identity and cultural wealth, like in terms of the where I'm from in the Philippines. But also another thought is to honestly see the economical and educational disparities, and also the agricultural disparities that these communities were put in place, because of the system that they're living in. It's not fair that they have to be evacuated because of airstrikes, and it's not fair that they have to honestly learn how to just work rather than being learning how to be educated. I know they're learning how to be educated, but
There's a lot of roadblocks.
Underfunded, and who's keeping the money if it's being underfunded? Who's protecting that from these people who need it the most? You know what I mean? And it's something that I am passionate about. But also, my thoughts are to have a cultural experience in terms of the Filipino identity, like elements, like to learn how it feels what it means, bayanihan. What does that mean?
Pakikiramdam.
Pakikiramdam. What does that mean? And
Pakikiramdam.
yes, and what does the Filipino mythology have to do in place too with how they live and learn, and their morals, like the capres and all that stuff, and what it means to what does family really mean. And I think I want to have that blessing to experience that beautiful struggle with them.
That'll be dope. I'm
bro.
excited. I'm excited for you to see your experience too as your first time in the Philippines. That'll be a trip. That's definitely like something to be like excited about. And I know that there's a lot of pull for a lot of Filipino Americans to go back home and just like be there in the country and meet folks there. And I think it can be very powerful. It was even very powerful for me.
I know
like
that.
the first one, even if I was born there, it was very powerful. Just like being out even in the rural areas, the communities where people do rely on each other for support because at the end of the day, when things are rough, you're all collectively struggling, right? And there at those times you realize, we do need each other.
What strikes you? What makes you want to go back, man, and just keep doing this every summer, bro? Like, how long have you been doing this for now?
This is the third year back.
This is your third round 3, bro. Round 3 for you. What? See that drive you have to organize this, even if it's I feel like it's impossible at this point, but you're making it possible for folks to go, bro.
It's because I also want to see the growth in other folks like you, right? Dessa, Jeremiah. Shout out to our You Caring page. Send us home. But I really had the goal last year, like, I want to bring more Daly City folks to the Philippines on these community trips, right? Not just tourism. The nice places are nice, like the tourist areas are nice, and it's something to be grateful that the Philippines has. But there's something that struck me when I went on the first community trip to these rural areas. Like, this is another side of the Philippines that I never saw growing up there. And I got a lot of positives out of it in terms of like life, like just the life that people have, even if they're struggling, the smiles that some of them have and the realities of their conditions. It made me very grateful for the privileges that I have in life. Like, look at this recording studio, fucking privileged, right? To be able to afford this and be in a garage, right? And other people do not have that because they were just born into their situation. A lot of these kids are just born into poverty. While I was very blessed to be born middle class. I had no choice. A lot of this, even if I've done quote unquote work in life, a lot of this is not through my own doing, right? This house is not through my own doing. It's my mama, right? So I've been blessed to be under certain parents, right, that have been able to be good parents to me, right? But there are other parents out there who are good parents but are struggling because the opportunities are just not there for them.
That's true.
So on some level, these are just small steps, all right, in my opinion. Us going there, doing these trips, these are small in the bigger picture, but I think it's part of the bigger picture if we take the experiences and let it spark more work and let it be an impetus for direct action that we can all participate in and bring in more people. Because more people want to help, more people want to be involved. We're just kind of separated so much by our lives, our responsibilities, the things around us. But at our core, I think we all want to be part of progress and positivity. So that's one of my goals, to just encourage other folks to be part of it and find ways that we can all support. And that's why I want to go back. And because I want to visit Salupungan. Because ever since the first trip, the first year, I've been wanted to go specifically visit Salupungan and these Lumad indigenous schools. Hey, stop. No. Sexy, come back.
Sexy.
Come back to your bed. No.
KuyaChris and friends, baby.
Doggy. Hey, sexy. Hey, come here. Go to your bed. Good girl. Go, lie down. Yeah. Discipline break, baby.
Good job.
So, if anybody wants to come up in here to the Good Vibes Garage, we got
Good Vibes Garage.
a guard dog.
Yes.
If you want to give me mail, we got a guard dog. So, I feel bad for our mailman sometimes because even with the slight clink of the mailbox, you go. But anyway, yeah, I want to visit Salupungan, who we are trying to really finalize our schedule with in Mindanao, because they've been doing good work setting up indigenous schools for a long time, man. And the last 2 years I haven't been able to go just because logistics and different groups had to go there. We had to go somewhere else. So that's one of the big drives for me to visit specifically Salupungan. And yeah, I just want to see the growth in other folks too. And I'm very excited for you.
Salupungan and Piset.
And PSET.
PSET,
Yeah,
right?
PSET, I was able to meet with them last year. They're going to be doing our Luzon trip.
Who else is going to the Philippines?
So there's other groups going also. LFS, League of Filipino Students, they're doing their Balik Sambayanan, I think. I forget the actual word. They're doing their expo trip. They're doing it around Luzon, also going to different areas. And I know a whole bunch of different groups do their own trips. So we're just one out of many. We're one of a bigger picture.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
And a lot of the rhetoric, though, on Facebook in terms with safety and martial law, can you explain to the older folks on how safe it is in Mindanao?
So Mindanao has always had a history of conflict because of specific groups trying to fight for self-determination. And there's different groups. There's the ND movement. There's
What does that
ND is
stand
National
for?
Democratic Front Movement. They are historically part or affiliated with the Communist Party of the Philippines and the New People's Army. And then they are backed by the book of PSR, which is the Philippine Society and Revolution. And they
Are these rebel groups?
So
Or are they organized?
They are
groups?
organized in a sense that they have a communist ideology, but I think it's changed or more.
Has it been radical?
It's more radical in that sense, but they are recognized by the United Nations as a quote unquote belligerent group, where they have certain where peace talks are supported, where they have a legitimate group that is organizing for peace talks with another legitimate group, which is in this case the Philippine government. And so right now there are peace talks going on in Norway or Sweden, I forget. And that's one of the things that have been going on since like the 80s, if I remember right.
Where did you get this information from? Because a lot of the people who try to talk down on this trip say that they relate their news through GMA TV Patrol, TV Patrol TV. Like, where do you get your good source of news from?
You've got to read. Mine is mixed. I don't.
Okay.
I even question the other news sources that I get mine. I always question. I'm Mr. Questioner. I'm Mr. Contrarian. But I try to read both sides. And this is just my understanding in the least biased way that I can. I know we all hold bias in our heads, but I'm just trying to present my understanding of the political organizations that are taking certain actions in the Philippines. And so historically, there's that history on that side.
Yeah.
But that's only one side to take into account.
What?
In the Philippines, there's actually, in Mindanao also, there's a lot of other paramilitary groups. There are the Moro groups, which is, I think they do consider themselves an ethnically specific group in the Philippines, where they were actually killed, a lot of them during the Filipino American War. But they consider themselves a specific group, and they're trying to fight for political self-determination as well. But then that's where there's a lot of splinter groups, where there's the what are commonly referred to as terrorist groups, the Abu Sayyaf and the Maute group now, which is the one that has recently attacked Marawi City. So for example, the ND movement, that the Communist Party of the Philippines, they're actually against the terrorist groups. Of like MILF or Maute.
Maute
I mean, not MILF, the Abu Sayyaf and the Maute. And so
they're in relations with ISIS, right? That's what a lot of people are saying.
That's what they're saying, but I'm not exactly sure. You're right. I haven't confirmed my sources because I don't really know. And that's what's online.
And that's what's happening only in Marawi.
Yes, in Marawi and in certain areas, right? What I will say is that there are certain other areas that have been deemed safe. Like, for example, even friends of my mom have been saying, oh, Davao is safe to go to, which is the main city that we're going to fly into. And there are other areas that are safe. What I can say and attest to, at least in terms of our specific trip, is that we link up with the specific organizations there that have a knowledge of the area and what's going on in order for us to lend our trust. And we believe that they will prioritize our safety and security. Right? They won't allow us to go to areas where they feel are unsafe, right? Or that will put us at risk. And those are the people you have to kind of trust because they're the ones
and that
on the ground in the Philippines.
That organization is Salugpungan and PSET.
Yes. So PSET is our Luzon partner organization in the North region. And then when we go to Mindanao, our partner organization is Salugpungan.
So where in Davao will we be?
We'll fly into
the indigenous
Davao.
community.
We'll fly into Davao, and I believe so. The thing is, Salugpungan has multiple schools in different locations.
Okay.
So we're still waiting on the final itinerary based on which one they would want us to visit in terms of need and safety. So that's still on the docket, but it's close there. One of it is Davao del Norte is a region, Talaingod, where there is one school, but I know that they have different locations. So I'm not 100% sure yet until the date gets closer, because also what I noticed in Philippine organizing is a lot of things can change based on what's currently going on. And the pace of life is really different once you get there because a lot is restricted by traveling, right? We have to travel to different locations, and even those traveling by bus or van takes hours, and we'll have to really do it responsively, right, in terms of what's going on and all.
So I have another question.
Yes.
You say the word self-determination. How important is that in the Philippine struggle? Like self-determination, can you explain that?
Self-determination.
This fight for self-determination.
From my surface level understanding, right, and in general, is the desire for certain groups, especially those that have been there, even say indigenous groups, for a long time, for generations, to really decide for themselves what they want to happen in their communities, what they want to happen.
Like their barangay?
Their barangay, even their area, their locality, their region, especially even indigenous groups. Because as an example, what I'll say is that there have been different areas in the Philippines or even indigenous groups, I can't remember off the top of my head, where their land has been taken away, where the resources in their land has been converted to be used for either farming or even mining or deforestation. And so their local region gets destroyed at the behest or at the decision of a larger system, or other officials that do not directly live there. And so it affects their ability to live fruitful and good lives, especially for their families. Own their own land, decide what's going to happen on that land. And that at the very core is a fundamental aspect of self-determination to decide what we can do with our land here.
They're the ones working on the land.
Yes,
They're the ones farming on the land.
They're the ones who's been living there for generations.
They're the ones feeding us, like feeding the rich people in the Philippines to eat.
And that's the problem. The problem is that the people in power are the ones who get to decide what happens to those lands because of quote unquote official declarations, certain laws, certain decrees,
unspoken
even
contracts,
unspoken contracts, or even contracts signed, quote unquote, by some tribe officials, but they were coerced into it, whether by force or manipulation, where they don't have the education to understand what's on these contracts.
That's right.
And so that is one of the desires of these schools, to encourage and empower these communities to have that form of academic or intellectual understanding in order for their communities not to be marginalized or like taken advantage of.
That's right.
It's a trip that there's so much going on that is not within their control, either because the lack of representation, the lack of education, or the lack of even empathy from people
are
in
dying.
power. Yeah,
And
so
life is important.
So that is one of the goals, for us to see the specific examples as well, in order for us to report on the issues, but also collectively find ways to change it, empower the people living there, and to be in solidarity, to use the privileged positions that we are in as Filipino Americans, as folks who are able to go to college and to go to prestigious institutions and use that not just for our own benefit, right? I know we have to feed our families. I want to make it big for my Lola, but not just for ourselves, but for the bigger community and the country and the roots of where we come from and why we declare ourselves to be Filipino.
That's right.
Right?
Coming full circle, baby.
Full circle. Okay, but anyway, okay, we gotta close out. We gotta bounce in like 5-ish or so minutes, all right? We gotta bounce.
Isang bagsak, that was for sure, bro.
Yeah, isang bagsak. But I want to leave this off. I end these sessions with my 3 pieces of advice for your younger self. So if you could do me a favor, give me 3 pieces of advice that you would give to a youth who maybe had considered themselves or think themselves to be dumb, or because they were told that they were dumb, or that they're at risk. Maybe they're not doing that well in high school and they're questioning, like, oh, what do I do? But kind of likes graph, kind of likes writing. Give me 3 pieces of advice for that young youth, young Filipino American.
1 is to always believe in yourself. 2 is to live a life you won't be remembered on just mere self-success, but in mere unselfish success, in order for you to live and also bring life to others, and also to die by knowing that you've helped a bunch of people to learn how to love, to learn how to respect, and to learn how to be empathetic. And 3 is to always trust in your creative self, always trust in not just mere academia, but whatever your sanctuary is in yourself, is to always catalyze that, to always practice it, and to always just express it. You know what I mean? So creativity, die by respect and love and forgiveness and empathy, unselfish love, unselfish everything. And 1 is to just believe in yourself, believe in it, and believe in others.
Boom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bonafide Abstract, Kevyn Lorenzana. Catch him on Instagram at Blessed with Clip Hands.
Yes. All proceeds for haircuts are going to the trip.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe like 10% will just go to me for, my pocket money. for right now while I'm still here. But other than that, the rest will go to the Philippines trip.
Boom! Thank you very much for coming on, my brother. Hey, it's been a blessing.